All right, good afternoon, Bronco fans. It's not looking not that great. 17-0 Saints right now at the half. Matt, let's start out and get your impressions on the first half and if there's anything you think at all the Broncos can do in the second half to make this a competitive game.
Keep playing good defense. I mean, we're playing great defense. Both the time. I mean, both. That's about it. Play good defense. I'm stumbling here. I'm struggling.
And that's all we have.
Defense is literally the only thing that's going well for us. I mean, stopping Taysom Hill in the red zone would be nice. Offensively, I don't know what you can necessarily do to make it more competitive right now.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, unless you let Royce Freeman go back there and let him try to pass and see if he's any more comfortable than Hinton is. I mean, Hinton looks like he's getting a little more comfortable, but balls are sailing on him. I mean,
he's not. He's just panicked. You could tell he's panicked. He's just completely panicked. Like literally, I said this in our group chat. He literally goes 1, 2, 3, throw. That's it. Yes. 1, 2, 3 step throw, or 1, 2. I'm going to roll out to the right, and then just throw. But I mean, his accuracy's off, timing's off. But I mean, that's expected because he's not a traditional quarterback. He's a wide receiver now. He has no chemistry with any of these guys. The Wildcat, it was working in the beginning because they weren't expecting Philip Lindsay to be out there running Wildcat. But I mean, over time, we can try to run out of that formation if we want, but they're just going to set a spy on him.
Right.
We're gonna eventually. That's not going to be an option.
And I agree. And at that point, there's nowhere for him to run. I mean, we saw it after that first series. The Saints sort of adjusted, and you saw where Lindsay would just run, and there was nowhere for him to go. He would just run into a bunch of guys, and there was nothing for him to really do. So,
yeah, arm strength is also definitely an issue for Hinton. It probably explains why he wasn't a quarterback at Wake Forest for very long, and he transitioned to wide receiver.
Right.
Arm strength is a problem. He's playing frantic. He has an open pocket, and like I said, it was I can't remember if it was second or third down, but he had an open pocket. He literally just had to stand there and just wait for something to come open. But he's like jumping up into the pocket and jumping back out of the pocket, then jumping back in. That's the one time we've seen him actually hold the ball, and then he throws it into the dirt.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of comments, so let's run through them. All right, first one, we got a completed pass, and that's definitely true. We definitely got a completed pass because if we can't complete a pass, we're one-dimensional, and there's no way we're going to run against that defense.
Yeah, we're running. Yeah, traditional run scheme isn't going to work right now. They're ready for that. One thing that we haven't seen is a screen pass. Maybe get him a couple screens. Let's see if he can get moving that way. But I mean, I think he'd be too frantic. I think we'd see another interception.
Yeah, and this good comment. Our D is doing a great job, and I think they are tiring out. And like you said, except for a couple, Taysom Hill runs in the red zone. I mean, we've done a good job at containing him and slowing him down passing. He had a dynamite game against the Falcons last week where he was 18 of 23, and he really hadn't done much of anything until he hit Thomas on that last pass where Thomas looked like Thomas just sat down in the middle of his zone. So
at one point we had him at -8 yards passing. So kudos to the defense. I mean, they're balling hard out there, but I mean, it's hard. Time of possession is completely flipped right now. Saints are just under 20 minutes, it looks like. Broncos barely broke 11. That defense is going to be exhausted, especially that interior defensive line where we are seeing that successful pass rush. Eventually, they're going to tire out. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully, we can get something going, some kind of drive substantiated. If not, those big boys are going to tire out, and we're going to lose the pass rush, and then that's when we're going to see Taysom be able to escape the pocket.
Yeah, definitely. Ricky Newell here say, I wish they'd try a reverse. We tried one, I think on the second drive with KJ Hamler, and ended up in a 2 or 3 yard loss. So the Saints really read it well. It was sort of telegraphed the whole way, so you could see it coming. So it really didn't work. And I like this one, and it's true. You can't blame this on Hinton at all. He can't. I mean, Cameron Jordan is breathing down his neck. He didn't practice, It's just a weird game, and it is. And that's all you can say about it. This is just one of those 2020 games that you really can't say anything. And I think Cameron Jordan, on a couple of those hits was close to, could have been flagged. I mean, he could have
getting there a little late, but
yeah, he could have let up, but they're not going to call that. So
no, yeah, and I don't think the blame is on Hinton at all. If I'm being honest, it's not his fault.
No.
I mean, yeah, I don't know blame towards Kendall Hinton right now. Yeah. Right now, the person I'm pointing the fingers at that quarterback room and the coaches that were with them not enforcing the rules. I mean, that's where the blame is at.
Yeah, that's definitely where the blame is at. And we sort of talked about this in our group, and I think this looks poorly on Drew Lock moving forward, if you ask me, but we'll save that for another day. But it showed a serious lack of judgment and leadership, in my opinion.
That's fair.
So, flea flickers, throw in some flea flickers. Yeah, those
something creativity.
Yeah, just if you have the time to let something like that develop, so.
Well, like I said, the pocket's been clean, except for on the two plays that a lot of us are referencing with Cam Jordan. They overloaded the line, and I mean, he had an open pocket had he stepped up. Garrett was doing actually a pretty good job of keeping contained, but it's once he broke the pocket, Garrett can't hold him, or it's going to be a holding call. He's got to let him go. So as soon as Hinton breaks the pocket, Bowles' hands have to go up pretty much, or it's going to be a holding call. So
here's
pocket hasn't been too bad.
Yeah, bubble screen, might not be a bad idea. Something for him, a quick, easy throw,
Yeah, bubble screen's making me nervous right now, though. His arm strength. He's got like this weird floater type spin on the ball. I think it would have too much hang time. We'd probably see it. I mean,
you might see
maybe on a throw like that we'd see more zip. I don't know, but with the accuracy we've seen, I wouldn't feel confident in a bubble screen. On a traditional screen, like halfback screen, maybe we could see it.
So, let's see. This is all on coaching. I mean, it's not besides the coaches not enforcing the policy on COVID. That's the only thing I can say. You can't really blame this game plan on the coaches. What are you going to do with them? So I mean, it's not like you could have put in a complex game plan at the 11th hour. So
yeah, we literally, I think he had like 12 hours to prepare. That's
right. Right. Here's a comment says, I disagree. Whoever this is, Facebook user, if you could, give us a little more details on what you disagree with, we definitely would like to hear your thoughts on this. So Adrian says he's pretty surprised that they haven't been going into more tighter formations. And I am too. I'm surprised that we don't have more of a two tight end set, and let's try to get Lindsey to the outside a little bit more. I mean, we've tried a couple times, but they're just getting too much penetration on the side of the ball.
I think we're not seeing those tighter sets because I don't know how comfortable they feel with anyone under center right now. I mean, that's a strong bond between the quarterback and center. You got to really get that communication and timing down right, or we're going to see a lot of drop balls more often than if. Not saying it's easier to catch a shotgun snap, but it typically leaves you a little less room for error because if you drop a ball right there, D-line's going to hop right on it. So that's why we're not seeing these tighter formations like we did. I was hoping to see some 12 and 13 personnel. I don't think we're going to switch to it. I think it'd be more effective for the run game, but with the quarterback situation, I don't think they feel comfortable with him under center at all.
Yeah, and that is Cody, I guess, is the one who said we disagree, and that's the same thing we said. That's the only thing you can really blame the coaches on in this is that they did not enforce the protocol. But as far as the game and all that stuff, and sometimes these players, and they need to be accountable for their own actions, And Drew Lock, you're supposed to be a leader of this football team. Put a mask on. How hard is it?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we have to do it every day, every single one of us.
Right.
Hey, Dave, can you highlight Rob's comment real quick? It looks like, so spread it out. So the reason why we're not spreading it out, Rob, is because they don't trust. He has no experience reading protections at this level. They're having those tight ends stay close in tight to provide the chips on the the 5 passing attempts he's had, and I mean, it's not even giving him enough time. He's just too frantic. He's not trusting his pocket at all. I wish he would be a better fit for the 3 wide because then like Drew Lock would be, especially if we're able to successfully start to run some like real RPO with him in the game. But I think they've seen him get too frantic, so I don't think they're gonna loosen up the formations at all.
Right. So Cody says, that's what he's meaning. He apologized. Definitely no reason to apologize, Cody. I mean, we just wanted some clarification. We agree the coaches should have enforced the policy, and we wouldn't be in this. Because I'll tell you what, if we have Drew Lock, it's a whole different game. I think we're in this game. I think we can play with the Saints. I mean, our defense has showed, and like you said, they're just tiring out now. So,
and I mean, definitely we got. I mean, there's several coaches on the field. I mean, Elway's down on that field sometimes. I mean, there's several administrators that were on the field at all times. How hard is it to tell a guy pull your mask up? If you got it around your chin, pull it up. It takes 2 seconds.
Yep,
it's a 2-second conversation.
So, yeah.
I'll be honest. I made a mistake. Pull it down and talk on the phone real quick while you're walking through the grocery store. Sometimes it's a mental lapse. We're human, but to blatantly 4 of you guys to be in the same room walking around with the coach, in your team meeting and no one saying anything, that wasn't a mistake. That was poor judgment.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing.
Right. So stop throwing the ball, pounding the ball, old school football. I mean,
they're stacking the box with 10.
Yeah, they are. And we have to be able to throw the ball and complete some passes to back those guys off. In other words, like you said, they're going to stack the box 9, 10 guys at a time. And if we can't hit a pass back behind where they're stacking the box, then it's going to be a long second half. So
and I think that's why without putting too much pressure on Hinton, I think they got to send him in with 2 plays, a run play and a screen play. When he sees that box stacked 10 with 10, he's got to. That's when he's got to make sure he's got to do whatever play call to switch it to that screen, that halfback screen. Because if they're going to be sending 10 in the box, that means you only got 1 safety over the top for coverage.
And I agree. You got someone like Noah Fant who chips and just releases, back behind that box, and so at first, I mean, and I like Rob's comment here. Go to the double wing, and it sort of reminded me of like a Army-Navy football game at the beginning. Nobody was passing, and so, but
I mean, hey, we're taking all suggestions, Rob. I mean, for real. I mean, it's just with his lack of experience. I mean, and it's been 2 calendar years since he's been back there. I mean, and they got to remember this offense is used to running a really like basic old school 1998 West Coast offense.
Right.
Trying to go to a wing formation, or even this Wildcat's already new to them, and I got to give that offensive line kudos for that. Have almost 3 backs. Yeah, I mean, having almost 3 backs in the backfield and run the rock and get a push. I mean, I think maybe we should see Freeman back there line up as quarterback. It opens up a little bit more opportunity because he can at least throw the ball too. I mean, or even use Hinton. I mean, we're not using him in like the traditional RPO. It's like every single time he's doing it's either handoff or I'm going to throw it. He hasn't tried to really run at all. He had that one rollout where he got a couple of yards, like 4 or 5 yards, and that's it.
Right. So
run the keeper sneak.
Yeah. Of course, my brother has to come in with a comment like this: run the center keeper sneak. So, well, I don't think that would amount to much anyway. So, it looks like we're getting ready to come back to the second half. So, everybody, thanks for your questions. Thanks for your comments. Enjoy the second half. And Matt and myself will see you an hour after the game's over.
Yeah, a little more breakdown. Hopefully some smiles.
All right.
I'll be happy. I will give this offense kudos that they could put up 14 points. I don't even care if we take the L right now with the circumstance. Let's get 14 points, guys.
Right. Let's do it. All right. See you after the game, Matt.
See you later.
All right. Bye.